Well, hello everyone. Hi. Welcome everybody. Happy Thursday. Hope you're having a fine day overall and a fine week. Thanks for joining. It's going to be a fun day of lots of different Pokemon spin-offs. Primarily in the Gen 3 era, but we do gotta dip back to Pokemon Stadium 2 just real quick. I don't really know technically what era we should call. I guess, okay. No, Stadium 2 is soundly in the Gen 2 era. Like, it came between Gold, Silver, and Crystal's release. So yeah, that's squarely in Gen 2 territory still. Then, we got an early round of Gen 3 spin-offs to zip through. A very wide range of experiences, and consoles will be bouncing between as well. There will be a little bit of setup in between games. Should be fun, though. Educational. Now, before I fall too far behind here, thank you, Ed is Everywhere, for the 21 months. 21 dang months, jeez. Thanks for the 11 months, Font of Wisdom. This doesn't look like Pokemon Ruby. No, and it won't look like Pokemon Ruby. None of the stuff today will look like Pokemon Ruby. Not even close. Unless I'm mistaken, it's... Okay, no, one game might look like slightly like Pokemon Ruby. Very different, though. I'm going to try to burn through, like, 4 spin-offs today. I don't know if we're going to get through all of them. No, we're not going to, like, finish them, obviously. We're going to dip into them. Most of them are 3D, though. There's like one 2D pixel art one, and the rest are 3D. Let's see. Before I fall further behind, though, thank you, Artem Matthew, for 21 months. Heck yeah, let's go, friends, indeed. I am also excited. Thank you for the 20 months, Eterna. Oh, hey, 20 months, neat. It's so many months. Thank you for the 5 gifted... Good, a lot of gifted subs happened just back to back. Thank you, first of all, Maymole, for gifting 5 subs. Thank you, Eterna GM, then for gifting 6 subs. Not to be outdone. And then Baha Bali very shortly after gifting 5 more subs. That's very kind of all of you. Big thanks to all 3 of you. Bunch of sweethearts out here. Thank you for the 4 months, Teal Chorus. And just now, thank you for the 21 months, Smug Rainbow Pony. Why, hello to you, too. You hope one of the spin-offs is Pokemon Puzzle Challenge, not League Challenge, the Game Boy Color one. I think the puzzle ones I am skipping past. Like, we're being pretty thorough with our spin-off inclusion, but I went ahead and drew the line at games that didn't really have much animation to really go over. Like, the only reason I'm including the spin-offs is kind of for just, like, at curiosity, but also for a little added context of seeing, like, where Pokemon game animation is at outside of the core series as we go, because there's some fluctuation there. Like, it's an interesting data point for context, if nothing else, like seeing where, like, what Stadium games look like while Gen 2 is coming out, for instance. And even though I think it's often done kind of in a bad faith way, I feel like comparing games like Stadium and Coliseum and all these others to the later 3D Pokemon, like, mainline releases is also, like, worth it. Like, there's, like, interesting comparison to be made there. And there are very clearly places where, like, the Stadium and Coliseum games excel where animation in the 3D games, like, doesn't quite so much. There's reasons for that, but, like, the difference is real for sure. And worth examining. Anyhow, let's see. Thank you, Eterna GM, for gifting more subs. No, wait, that was Effervescent Winter. Sorry, my little feed is being silly. Thank you, Effervescent Winter, for gifting 5 subs. You are too kind. Eterna GM did bits. That's right. I recommend doing a full playthrough of Colosseum and or Gale of Darkness. These are arguably still some of the best Pokemon games today, despite their age and jank. We're probably not going to do a full playthrough of either one of them, but we will dip in. We will get a look at them. It might be that if Colosseum, like if it feels like we are just scratching the surface and need to get in more time, we may continue Colosseum into another stream, not just wrap it all up here today. While clicking around on YouTube earlier this week, a thought occurred to me. There's a non-Pokemon franchise that features a lot of Pokemon, which is Super Smash Bros. Will you be considering examining the fighters and Pokemon items for those games' animations? Probably not. Maybe. We'll see. Like, I might dip into one of them briefly to see Pokemon, like the Pokemon trainer characters, like animation. Even that is like so far removed from kind of Pokemon gameplay and experience. I don't know. It could be kind of interesting. Maybe we'll do like part of a stream where we just dip into like the practice room and just sort of like examine the moveset. Just for curiosity. It's less useful as a data point for Pokemon conversation, but it's like, could still be neat to have a look at. Was Stadium the first foray into 3D? I think... I'll have to double check, because the like initial Japanese Stadium release didn't show up in the States, and that was pretty early on. I'm trying to gauge whether Stadium or Hey You Pikachu was the first 3D one to be out. They were pretty close together, I think. Yeah, no, the original Japanese release of Pokemon Stadium, or Pocket Monster Stadium, or Pokemon Stadium Zero, however you want to name it, since it didn't really get a Western release. That came first. Then Hey You Pikachu came later. And then Pokemon Snap, and then Pokemon Stadium. So in the West, unless the... I'll have to check, because like sometimes the Western and Japanese release time is like a little switched around, like which order certain games came out in. But I think... in the West, at least, in terms of ones we got, the first one we'd have received was Hey You Pikachu, and then Pokemon Snap, and then Pokemon Stadium. But they were pretty close together. Does Pokémon Tournament count as a Pokemon spinoff? I think so. It's worth, like, dipping into briefly, because it is also a case where, like, it'll be interesting getting a look at how a lot of Pokemon are animated in a more action, real-time game that's not a turn-based thing. Since so much Pokemon animation and battle animation is turn-based, like seeing... and I guess that's why it's worth getting into Smash Brothers as well, because like seeing what Pokemon animation might look like in a more action game-type context, like, is interesting, an interesting data point. So there's lots of good questions here. Let's see. Am I considering playing the rebooted Pokemon Snap game? Oh yeah. The new Pokemon Snap will definitely be in the on the to-do list. Pretty far away from that, obviously, but yeah. Would I consider playing Pokemon Infinite Fusion just for fun? I feel like maybe someday, but I feel like I've got, like, my plate for Pokemon games to stream is pretty full already, without adding mods, like, modded versions. And by the end of this, I may be pretty Pokemoned out for a little bit. But, like, stuff like that, like, I love how many, like, fan hacks, like, ROM hacks of Pokemon games there are, and some of those sound really cool. Would you consider taking a nap? You do too much. Fair and reasonable. I'm honestly, I can't really nap. I'm the sort of person that for some reason, napping does not work for me. My body's just too used to its regular, like, rhythm of wake up in this kind of loose window of time in the morning, start falling asleep around like this little window of time in the evening. And if I try to nap, I will have a very difficult time like actually falling asleep. And when I wake up, I find that I feel worse than when I feel even worse than when I went down for the nap. Just really like woozy, or not woozy, but just like really brain foggy and just feeling more tired. It doesn't seem to help. So, yeah, for me, really the only fix is like being sure to get to bed early enough. I wish I could nap. It would make things a lot easier. Your body doesn't nap, it sleeps. Yeah, that's kind of like basically what I'm, how mine is. It could be that it's just a thing that like my body would need time to adjust to. Like I've never been a person who takes naps. Maybe if I did get, I'm sure if I kind of got my body into the habit of it, it would probably start benefiting more. But as is, I don't know. I feel like my routines generally just work better if I'm getting my rest at night. But yeah, getting rest is good. Honestly, it's been nice for the last little while just having only Play Frame and New Frame Plus stuff to do rather than the day job. It's been nice just having one job for a change, because it has meant that I've had more time for actual like rest and downtime a little more. Which has been nice. It's been nice not feeling quite as tired all the time. Even if it's just for a little stretch here, it's been a pleasant change of pace. By the way, thanks for the 14 months, Ophis. And also, Emmons, hello. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Corinne gets very angry when she wakes up from a nap. I feel like the last time... It literally was years since the last time that I tried doing a nap, when I was just like really exhausted and crummy feeling. Like, I think it was when the last time I went out to try to go to help out at Desert Bus for a little stretch in person. Like, we'd had to get up way early to take the Clipper from Seattle over there. And I was feeling a little bit, like, slightly motion sick, but also just really exhausted and wiped out when we got there. And we had some time kind of before we were thinking of going in. So I decided, all right, I'll try doing a nap, see if that helps. And I just woke up feeling like just complete brain fog. Like the feeling when you, like, have to wake up or get up suddenly in the middle of the night of when you'd be asleep for something. Either you there's like a little fire alarm, or you realize you had to go and like turn off sprinkler, something that would make you like wake up and like have to like blearily try to get up and go do something in the middle of when you're expected to be asleep. Like, like your body's like, what? We're supposed to be sleeping right now. What are you doing? Like, that's what waking up from a nap feels like for me. And I don't really bounce back or feel rested. Kind of sucks. Inconvenient. So your animation analysis made me finally cave and pick up the Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster, and I'm paying much more attention to the sprites than I normally would, which makes it even better. Massive thank you, but my already crammed to playlist is grumpy. I understand. I'm glad you're enjoying it, though. I'm glad you enjoyed the video as well. All right, I was considering later we'll do some more music, video game music guessing quizzes, but we've got quite a lot to do today already. So rather than stalling some more, let's kind of get our first game set up, get ready to go. Okay, almost got it. Alrighty. That's volume on that. It looks pretty quiet. I love that Then there's Pichu, just like kind of staring there, no thoughts. Welcome to Pokemon Stadium 2. This is, hang on, this screen, what's going on? No, wrong. There we go, that's a little better. This will be fun. Here, actually, let me reset it again. Actually, no, I'm not grabbing footage of this. I'm playing this on the Switch Online kind of a release. I do have a physical copy of Pokemon Stadium 2, but unfortunately, it's not been running correctly, such as the hazard when ordering old games on like eBay and such. But at least we got this version, so we can get a look at it, and I can get footage later if I need it. So, game volume does still seem pretty quiet. I'll bump it a little bit. Might get way louder later, though. Are we cupping or castling? I don't know. I've never played this one before, actually. So let's see. We have a 2-player arena. We have stadium, classes, lab, and mini games, and we just have battle now. Let's just go into the main thing here. The stadium where the battles are held. Test the mettle of your Pokemon with 4 sets of rules. The research lab. Check your Pokedex. Organize items. Castle. Gym leaders await your arrival. Whoever reaches the top is the ultimate trainer. Mini games. Free battle. Academy. Teach you how to battle effectively. Game Boy Tower. Your room. Try redecorating it. Also, that's cute. I don't know. Let's dip into each of these a little bit. Stadium first. Little Cup, Poke Cup, Challenge Cup. Or Prime Cup. Poke Cup seems kind of like the standard-ish mode. Let's go for it. Rental only, it's all we got. So, my understanding is that here in Pokemon Stadium 2, we've got all of Gen 1 and 2 in here this time. Which is nice. I'm definitely seeing some Gen 2 in here. Now let's favor more Gen 2 additions in this list. We'll get our Crobat in there. You have a copy that works, and you'll be coming to Vancouver this weekend if I'd like to borrow for footage purposes. I appreciate that. I will probably... I need to be heading out back to kind of like a retro game shop pretty soon anyway for some of the other later spin-offs anyway. So, like, I do aim to have a copy that I can get footage from pretty soon. So I should be okay, but I do appreciate that very much. I should just go with my Crystal team. Yeah, let's mainly go with the Crystal team here. Oh, sure, let's go entirely with the Crystal team if we can, if they're all within the selectable list. I'm on board. So let's see. None of these, I don't think. No. None of you, none of you. We went with Croconaw, yeah? Well, if not... or Croconaw was our first one, weren't they? No, it was Cyndaquil. Cyndaquil's the one with our full playthrough. Right. Okay, I remember now. Crobat, need you. Ah, our beloved. Fortress, yes. Furret was also here, but not really as a fighter. Unfortunately, most of the fully evolved here have really bad movesets. That's okay. I'm not really here to win. So long as I'm seeing what the animation and presentation looks like, that's all I need. Igglybuff. Not sure we ran into one of those. Let's see, where are some more familiar faces? Miltank, our rival. Quilava, that's not quite the full evolution, but we're getting there. Quagsire! Nope, 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 nope. There is Suicune, and we might... Yeah, we will go with that, because like the alternative would be Furret, I suppose, who we weren't really using for fights. So sure. Typhlosion, there you are. And Umbreon. Perfect. Team assembled. Let's see how this goes. Okay. Yeah, that works.
Let's get started. Pokémon Tournament Poke Cup Pokeball. We're here for battles between Pokémon with a total level of
Looking good, Suicune. What I'm anticipating is that this is basically going to be a very similar game, just with more in it. Alright, we got Bubble Beam, Gust, Roar, and Curse. Gust is a weird one to have, but honestly, fortunate.
Feeling supersonic. It's become confused.
Don't confuse the Suicune, no.
What will the other side do? It's super effective.
It really is pretty nice animation on... quite nice, especially for this era. Animation in these games.
It raised its evasiveness.
This is kind of like one of the rare cases where you get Pokemon games developed in-house by like Nintendo's actual dev team, like internal dev teams. Like the same folks making Mario and Kirby and all these other games. Go down, Bug.
It's still padding its stats. Whoa, God! That struck home. It hung on by the skin of its teeth.
1 HP, come on.
There's a big HP difference between the two.
Technically, HAL's not a Nintendo studio. Technically, HAL's not, but I think a lot of the development for for the Stadium games was internal. Like, there was some co-development work with HAL and with Creatures as well. But
each other warily.
I believe a lot of development was just the internal Nintendo team on this one.
It assumed a protective pose. Aha! It's confused no more.
Oh, Cyber's referring to Kirby?
What's this? Whoops,
There's some
that missed.
Kirby development that happened internally, I think.
Still capable of going up, but the
I may be
other one
misremembering though.
looks
I was just scanning down a list of all the sort of like Nintendo EAD developed titles on a wiki earlier today. Finish the fight, Suicune. Do a bubble beam.
It increased its evasiveness. There's Bubble Beam. That's it. Down it goes. We're
Finally got one down.
the appearance
Yeah,
of
let's
the
definitely get some
next
fire out
Pokemon.
here though, if they'll let us switch.
Oh, it's Caterpie.
Bug.
Those
Schmal.
white-hot battles
You know, why not? Let's just go ahead and switch. Anyway. Typhlosion.
The commands are made.
Roast all the
Here
bugs.
comes a Pokemon switch. Oh, it's Typhlosion. Clingy String Shot. Oh, its speed is down. How will this Pokemon switch affect the flow of battle?
Look at this big doof. Well, we'll see Flame Wheel in 3D. That'll be fun.
A Flame Wheel. Drilled a weakness. Whoa, KO'd by one hit.
Level 50 Caterpie does feel very strange.
Just one
I agree.
Pokemon remains. Oh, it's Weedle. It's
These
down
bug
to
kids
the
take their
last
bugs very
Pokemon
seriously.
now. The number of remaining Pokemon is 3-1. This battle has become one-sided.
Somewhat, yeah. Here, let's just see Swift for the heck of it.
There's the shot. Hit. That was good. There's the attack.
Seems like they're struggling a little bit with Typhlosion's proportions in particular. Like the movement is
A hot battle is unfolding.
pretty awkward for its shape on that like Swift attack. Let's see it again, actually. Like, it feels like it should be getting down on all fours at some point, and they're kind of avoiding that.
Next. The target is weakened further. A sharp attack. Yes, it's a hit.
Maybe just a case of like the mesh for the like the mesh and the rig being like too simple to where like that's just going to cause some weird deformation if they actually try to have it running around on all fours, and so they just try to keep it stiff and upright, or maybe that who knows, there could be a lot of creative reasons why they opted to do it that way, but it's a little awkward looking.
They're ready to go. What now? The target stats must be in tatters. It's a swift attack.
Down goes Bug.
There are no more remaining Pokemon. And there goes the battle.
Typhlosion's never depicted on all fours. Yeah, usually, like, in all the sprite art I've seen, it certainly hasn't been. Haven't seen enough of the anime to tell whether, like, you ever see a Typhlosion running around in that context, but... Okay, so by Stadium 2, we're in 2000, and the next mainline one's Ruby, right? I think the next mainline one actually would have been Crystal. This came out between, like, Gold, Silver, and Crystal's release. And then after that, the next, like, Ruby was the next game, the next Pokemon game. Okay, we got fish. The water types, the ones our teams were never great at contending with. So this will be interesting. You, and you.
This is the second round. Trainers place the Pokeballs containing their leadoff Pokemon on the field to start the battle.
Look at that seal. This very grumpy looking bat. Something about the teeth makes this bat look very doofy. It's kind of adorable.
Whoa! It flew up high.
I do not like Crobat with teeth. Yeah, no, I agree.
No, that didn't connect. They're both hanging tough.
It's the weird rounded teeth too. Like this is
A furious attack.
oh, that's a cool little fly attack. The little spin. I like that a lot. It's a good choice. But yeah, the weird rounded teeth does not feel like what you'd expect on bat teeth, right? And it's bottom teeth too. Why is it just a bottom row of teeth independently? That's very strange. When it opens its mouth, like it's the lower jaw. Why?
Their eye needs to
Just fly it again.
Oh, it flew high again. It shrouded itself with
That's too much teeth for this bat.
The white-hot battle continues.
There is something very Monsters University about about the bat, and I think the teeth is part of it.
Managed to hang in there. What will it do? It's super.
Maybe it's a mouth guard.
It's a fierce battle.
Let's just see a different move. Do a bite with the ridiculous teeth.
Pokemon Stadium. It bites. Right, that's a hit. Yes, it's going down. The next Pokemon needs to be prepared. Oh, it started. The crowd's excitement is building from this heated battle.
Crobat probably not coming out of this one with a win, but we shall see.
Whoa, it flew up high.
Ha!
Hydro Pump.
You
Oh,
miss.
that's a miss. Sparks are flying from both competitors. There's the shot. Oh, a blow to the weak spot. It collapsed with only
Yay.
one hit. Just one
You're doing
Pokemon
great,
remains.
Teeth Bat.
Oh, it's Goldie. It's down to the last Pokemon now. The safeguard wore off. A hot battle is
N64 Pokemon are very charming.
Whoa! It flew up high. Uh-oh, it started raining heavily. They're both
I do like that the rain continues in the arena visually. It's nice.
sharp attack. That
Stops for the attack effects, I guess. Which might make sense. Maybe that's like too much stuff to for performance on the N64, having the rain effects and also all the battle effects and combat effects simultaneously.
Use this held item to restore HP. The white-hot battle continues.
Do your best, Bat. I've been paying so much more attention to animation and everything since I found your channel. It's been nice learning about something new. Oh, hooray! I'm very glad.
Horn drill. Oh, that hit just
Cool little hit react there. Down goes Bat.
Oh, knockout.
Okay.
That KO
Uh,
bring out a new Pokemon.
All right, I must see Quagsire.
The next Pokemon is ready. Oh, it's Quagsire.
Yay. Suitably doofy.
This showdown appears to be coming to an end.
Hooray. Just a slam attack ought to be fine.
They prepare for battle. Whoa! Whoops! That missed. Wow! Slam! Oh, that's a...
Dang. Let's try that again.
Will the next hit decide the outcome?
Come on, Quagsire.
Both
Don't
get
miss.
ready to go. Wow! Oh, that missed too. What about this?
There we go.
The last Pokemon goes down. And there goes the battle.
Yay. So far, so good. Now for the plain badge. With a hiker. Well, Quagsire is definitely going in again. Yeah, it's pretty much just going to be a Quagsire sweep, I think, but Crobat, you as well, in case High Chop comes in.
We've been blessed with a succession of hotly contested battles here in Pokemon Stadium. The roar of the crowd signals the start of the third round.
I'm really curious to see. I've not seen much of Coliseum, and I've not seen much of like Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness or whatever it's called.
Ride that, sir.
That's the one I'm particularly interested in seeing because I'm curious to see. I know a lot of the animation, like there's a lot of animation reuse across the Stadium games and up into Coliseum as well.
Right off the bat.
I'm wondering how far that continues. Like, if that does that continue into Gale of Darkness also?
Number of remaining Pokemon is 3-2. This battle's outcome is still far from certain.
Something about the like muscle texture on this High Chop I'm not entirely sure I like. Or this, I guess it's just a Machop with a different nickname. Get digged at.
They're eyeing each other warily.
You think Coliseum overhauled all the models? I believe so, yeah. Like, from my understanding, like, the models definitely look updated somewhat. And even if, like, even in the unlikely case that the models in Coliseum are using the same polygon mesh as we would be seeing here, there's still a lot of work beyond just that in getting, like, a similar or the same model looking and working right in a new game with different shaders, textures, all that stuff. Like, there's still a lot of work to that, even if there is some like kind of reuse or starting from these models and refining them further. There's definitely some added work there. And there's new animation work as well. There's lots of reused animations, but like not just directly reused. I was looking at some comparisons earlier today. It definitely looks to me like they are touched up in places, and it might be that even with the reuse, they still kind of had to do, like, reuse may not be as correct a term as
That didn't connect.
sort of like reworking the old animations or reproducing the old animations. It's hard to know without like kind of knowing what the exact process was, but I definitely see some subtle changes to some of the reused animations as well in Coliseum a little bit.
Great hit.
Usually just small stuff.
The heated action continues.
But it makes sense that they would be reusing this stuff. Like, just like with the main 3D games now, it's a lot of assets to add for an increasing number of Pokemon. So where you can use assets you created before to have more time and money to invest in the new Pokemon or in adding new features or moves or whatever else, which Coliseum also does, then yeah, like, that's the way to do it. A cute little thing. Just for funsies, let's get somebody else out here. Umbreon, I don't know if you're tactically a good choice, but I'd like to see you.
The trainer's switching Pokemon. Oh, it's Umbreon.
See, to my understanding, Stadium 2 reuses all hang on, or sorry, just checking chat real fast. Stadium 2 reuses all models from Stadium 1. Coliseum and XD reuse all models present in Stadium 2, but at 60 frames per second. I don't think the frame rate wouldn't make a difference in terms of model reuse. Jumpluff's Square Shadows are the dead giveaway, and the major model refinements aren't until Battle Revolution on the way. Battle Revolution, that's the other one that I was forgetting. Like, there is some reuse, and they're definitely, like, taking the stuff from Stadium and using it as a foundation, but, Quake Attack, I don't know. But I've definitely seen some differences in the, like, texture work on a lot of the stuff in Coliseum, even where the animations are the same and the models look very similar. Okay, that's pretty cute.
There's plenty of fight left in both of them.
Like, there's definitely, even in the places where we see reuse, there's still a lot of work that needs to happen to make that, like, there's still a lot of work that needs to happen. It's not a thing that you can just drop the old thing into the new game and it works and looks right. But it is a time saver. It's like, makes sense that they would be reusing where they could, especially because, like, these are good at, like, this is a good bunch of assets. These are, like, cute animations. There's lots of appeal and charm here. There's added, like, texture and personality to this animation that is really lacking in not all, but a lot of the modern 3D mainline Pokemon games. Like, there's good stuff. These are a lot of good assets worth reusing where they could.
Okay. How's that? A light pack. What'll it do? Hit! That one's good.
I do quite like that effect. Yeah, let's do Feint Attack. Let's see some other stuff.
But the other one looks tired. What's next? That was a glancing blow. What's this? Right, that's a hit. Oh, it has no strength left.
Very good motion on Umbreon.
So, what will be the next Pokemon?
Yeah, come on out again, Quagsire. Why not? I don't know if this has been asked already. Is this most likely Vertex or Bone Animated? That's something I'm wondering. There's definitely some Pokemon in Stadium that are Vertex animated. Like, I don't think there's any other way that they're not. Like, ones like Grimer and Muck, there's a lot of real looseness and warbliness to their, like, and flexibility to their body that I can't fathom them being able to do with, like, bone animation on an N64.
Could this be it?
There's, like, no way. But I don't know if that's the case for all of them. And my suspicion is that if it is, like, Vertex animate, like, the ones that were Vertex animation, I'm guessing would have been much, much harder to reuse in a new game, in like, Coliseum or later on. Especially if you are adjusting the model in any way, changing what the vertices are doing, then that kind of breaks the animation. Granted, that Vertex animation is, like, if that's still baked out from sort of like a more bone skeleton-based animation in sort of like the software they're authoring it in, maybe even if they're adding vertices to that model, they could just sort of like re-bake it out into a vertex animation. Like, it's just another sort of thing that would just require some more work to bring from Stadium into Coliseum, but still feasible, I guess. But it's hard to know. Can I explain what vertex versus bone animation means? I'll try. I'll probably do a bad job, but I will try. So a 3D model is made up of a whole lot of polygons, right? The points where those polygons meet, the points that sort of like constitute the corners of each polygon, are called vertexes or vertices. Like, each one is a vertex. Okay, so let's see, we got lots of thunder and some ghost. So we definitely need Umbreon in there. And we want Quagsire. Yeah. Umbreon, Quagsire, and I guess let's just get Fortress in there for kicks. So the vertices are kind of like all of the points on the model where all the corners of the polygons where the different polygons meet. With bone animation, the way that like lots of 3D models are generally animated, like that snake, that might be vertex animation. It's hard to tell. It's really hard to tell. Is that you've got a skeleton of little, when they call them bones, inside the model that are. So I'm going to stop playing for a second so I can try to explain reasonably well. You've got a skeleton of joints inside of the model, which have each been given a certain amount of influence over specific points, specific vertices in that model, so that when I move that bone, it is going to move these vertices a corresponding amount. Maybe each one of those vertices is like getting 100% influence from that joint, so basically it's almost like parented to that joint in that effect, where like as much as the joint moves, that point will follow along 100%. Or maybe a vertex is being influenced by multiple bones, so that like it's inheriting 50% of its movement from one joint and 50% of its movement from the next joint in the chain. Like, that's how a lot of these like models are moved and reshaped by that skeleton of joints inside it. There's lots of other things involved with 3D animation, but that's like one of the fundamental ways that we animate 3D models. And so there's lots of games, and most games, especially these days, all of the 3D models for the characters and everything in the game have those invisible, like, skeleton, like, kind of networks, like, attached to those models and moving them, and the game is kind of processing all of that motion in real time. But that could be quite kind of like processing expensive, like performance difficult to do, especially in early 3D, in early 3D days. Every additional bone you added to that skeleton to influence thing was just more processing, more expensive in terms of performance. So these very simple 3D models could not have complex 3D skeletons. Like, a lot of the reason why you see a lot of these early 3D characters being completely segmented, like in Mario 64 or Final Fantasy VII, is that is one of the benefits of that, is that it is allowing them to not have to worry about like having every single part of the body moving as one uniform piece, instead of having to deform it to account for like influence from multiple bones, or for multiple little joints there influencing the vertices. It was very difficult to get organic or loose or super like deformy, bendy, squashy sort of motion on an early 3D character model, given the limitation of joints you could have inside the body. It's challenging to do that even without the limitations of real-time graphics processing and rendering and stuff. So what a lot of old games did instead, or at least some games did instead, was they made the animation kind of in their animation software using as many bones and joints and other methods of moving the model as they like, including just hand animating vertices frame by frame sometimes, which is a lot of like manual work, but you can, in doing that, at least shape the model however you want it frame to frame, and then effectively baking that out so that the game is not, there's not a skeleton of joints live shaping and deforming the model in game. There's not a skeleton of joints at all. In game, there's just this baked out model with its different animations moving in different ways. And that allowed them to get much more complex motion on these models and more complex deformations on these models without having to process it in real time. So, like, apologies if this explanation is very difficult to follow. I'm not the most technical animator, 3D animator myself, so doing my best. So, like, Crash Bandicoot, those are examples of game, like, that's a character who is, like, vertex animated, which is why there's a whole lot of, like, that's a very malleable character. I'm trying to think of, like, other good examples. If we do see, like, Muck or Grimer come out here, you will see, like, a bendiness to them and, like, a squishiness to them that feels very different from a lot of these other much more kind of rigid characters. And they as well, I am almost certain, are, like, vertex animation. There's probably a lot of other examples as well. Sorry, I've also been ignoring chat while trying to think of how to explain things in real time. Hang on. The bones are preset methods for manipulating vertices. Bones are ways that you can manipulate vertices in real time in game. But if you want to have all of that vertex animation and motion baked in to where you don't have to have the game processing how the joints are affecting each of those vertices in real time, the alternative is basically vertex animation, where you kind of bake all that vertex motion each time, so where the game's not tracking where the joints are and then extrapolating out from there where the vertices should go. It's just the game has all the data for where each vertex should be on each frame, and it's moving all those accordingly, which in some cases allows you to do much more complex motion without as much processing difficulty.
What's the matter, trainer?
I think Melee is about to give him, or might have given a much better explanation here, or a much shorter one. Let's see. Moving vertices around is kind of the OG animation technique. It is directly manipulating the model frame to frame. However, that gets hard really quickly. Even hundreds of vertices is hard, but thousands or millions is super hard. So very quickly, animation software created bones, which allowed the animator to rotate one thing that then rotates many vertices together. But in low poly models like this, manipulating vertices can still be useful. That's such a more concise way of saying it. Thank you, Melee. It's much better.
What's the matter, trainer?
I'm explaining something, announcer, or trying. Anyway, yeah, let's choose a move. Anyway, hello, Snake. Get sand attack. Huh? Now you have sand in your eyes.
What will the other side do? No, that didn't connect. The white-hot battle continues.
There's some really nice, snaky motion and animation. You remember hearing about blend shapes being very useful for expressive facial animations? Yeah, blend shapes are kind of a similar thing to vertex animation in a weird way, where like it is kind of creating a whole bunch of preset poses effectively that all the vertices on a model, specifically a face in this case, can be in. So basically like taking a model and reshaping it into each individual expression you might want. And then kind of having those shapes saved so that you can just, as an animator, move some sliders around to say, like, okay, let's move the smile slider a bit and have the model just kind of automatically hit that shape. Or like halfway between that shape and another shape with a different slider.
Okay.
It's another good way to, especially in sort of low poly, early 3D games like this, it's another good way of getting some very expressive, malleable character model motion without having to like process bones and joints and things like that. And even today, like blend shapes are a great way to animate faces because even though, yeah, it's like very high poly models now, animating a face to get exactly like the expressions and poses and mouth shapes and stuff like that that you want with bones and joints can be pretty difficult. Blend shapes allow you to really, really shape those expressions to look exactly how you want them. Modern like 3D character models, especially like kind of film quality ones, are these very complex, like incredible bits of just sort of like engineering using combinations of bones and joints and blend shapes, and like bones and joints affecting and activating blend shapes automatically and stuff like that to get just the kinds of creases and wrinkles and motions on the face and the like little deformations in the cheeks and all this really complex stuff. Like being a rigger for 3D characters on at like a film or like a high-end level is that's a full-time job. That's a specialization that is like generally in pretty high demand almost all the time because it's a very complex discipline.
That was a glancing blow. A horrible streak.
I need to be thanking some people. Y'all have been up to some things lately.
These Pokemon are equally fit. There's plenty of fight.
Just because I've been distracted poorly explaining animation things.
Ready to go. There's the attack. The move didn't quite work.
So like a half an hour ago. Goodness. NB Genie gifted us subs. Thank you very much. Snowbound, thank you for the 6 months. I'm like a half hour behind. I gotta, goodness. Thank you for the 10 months. Heart of K. I'm late, but also 10 months. Yay. Well, that's okay. I'm late too, as you can tell. Thank you for the 3 months in a row, 6 total, Fry Phoenix. Dan, you rock. It's been awesome to have your Pokemon series to watch through while I've been going through my first ever migraine episodes this month. That sucks. I'm sorry you're dealing with that. I'm glad to be of a little bit of help, but I hope that the migraines like back off and give you a rest. That sounds like a not fun new thing to have to contend with. My sympathies. Thank you for the 3 months total, Catafree. One of your favorite N64 games back in the day? Yeah, it seems to be just like, here's Stadium, but more and better. On first impression from what I'm seeing so far. Seems very solid. Let's get... Well, I don't know that they'll do incredibly, but I just want to see Fortress now.
The Pokemon is returning to its Pokemon.
Let's see, I did some financial digging. The Pokemon Company is a private KK owned by 3 entities, Nintendo, Game Freak, and Creatures. Yes, this is correct. Private KK is a company not publicly traded to simplify a holding company. Creatures is a private KK owned by Game Freak and Nintendo. Game Freak is a private KK with even split of ownership between Creatures, Game Freak, and Nintendo. TLDR, it's a big circle of ownership where everyone owns a portion of everyone else, but it's still all pointing back to Nintendo. Yeah, basically so. Like, Pokemon Company, Game Freak, Creatures, Nintendo are all separate entities, but still kind of the same entity. They're just different branches of a coordinating group that are each responsible for different parts of Pokemon game development, publishing, brand management, all that stuff. But they're effectively the same entity, but different groups responsible for different things. So the relationship between like Pokemon Company, Nintendo, and Game Freak is not the same kind of relationship necessarily as like I'm trying to think of like a big publisher who publishes a game by an independent developer who's not like where they've got a publishing relationship for that game, but there's not like a like the publisher doesn't own the developer in that case. There's just a sort of a partnership for that game production. Let's just see more moves. Roll out.
What's this?
Thank you, though, still catching up, for those 5 gifted subs, NB Genie.
What's next?
And then 10 gifted subs, Heart of K.
Did little damage.
Gracious. And then 5 gifted subs from Baja Bali. Goodness, you folks. It's a lot of gifted subs. Thank you very much.
There's the attack.
Enjoy the emotes, everyone.
Yes, it's working.
There are many very weird legal reasons why the 3-company corporate structure exists in Japan.
Right off.
I believe it.
They're both hanging tough. How's that? A light pass. What'll it do? That's it. Oh, we've had
I guess not unique to Japan either. Obviously, like companies within companies, like owned by larger parent companies. That's all very common in the West and the U.S. and various other parts of the world as well. But I'm sure like Japan's specific reasons for structuring in that way are like unique and different. That still makes total sense.
What's this? Yes, it's a hit. Oh, that was
Genius Sonority. So yeah, Genius Sonority is the developer of Colosseum.
it took
They are, as far as I know, and I'm not like no expertise on this one, are just sort of like a subsidiary. Their history looks like mostly it's primarily Pokemon spin-offs they've worked on, but they've got some of their own things they do too.
That's it. The last
So it's possible that Nintendo is like partial or full owner of Genius Sonority, but it might just be that they're just sort of like a partner, like a common partner studio. I'm not sure. I've not looked close into them specifically. Okay, let's suspend this one because I want to see some other modes here. Thank you for those hydrate and stretch reminders, by the way. It's a good moment to take advantage of that. The big question, is the P on your character's hat for Pokemon or for player? Ooh. Now we're digging into the real questions. I don't know. Hey, thanks for the 6 months, Northos. Playermon. Okay, we've dipped into the stadium a bit. Is there anything much to see in the lab? Nope. Don't expect there's tons to see in the room either, especially not without a game pack. Academy, free battle. All right, I think these are the things we need to look into. The castle and then mini games a little bit. Faulkner, hello. I guess let's put together another team. Let's use a different bunch, but still Gen 2 where we can. Let's get... Espeon. Flaffy. Who else might be interesting to see? Fair point. Fair point. I guess we already have an electric one in there, but we can make room. Do you think there's one company or person who owns the rights to the Pokeball icon and is making bank and royalties in the Pokemon world, or is it public domain? Well, it's definitely not public domain. I don't think there's one... like... I imagine Pokemon Company is probably the IP owner. Like, if I had to guess which of the companies that particular image falls under, I'd wager it's Pokemon Company, even though that is still technically, like, kind of Nintendo, like... But given that Pokemon Company is kind of the brand management wing overall, I'd imagine that, like, a lot of copyright stuff would largely be something that they handled. Oh, you mean in-game? I see. Huh. It's a fair question. I don't really know what, like... Pokeball production seems like a thing that's happened for a long time, even long before there were companies doing it. In-game, it's an ancient symbol, therefore uncopyrightable. Yeah, like that's kind of what it seems like it would be, right? Well, now it's our turn to have a mill tank. And, Meganium, and... Pichu, of course. Who to get? Who will fill in gaps in our type spread here? Guess we got lots of options. Hey, thanks for the 15 months, Sigtao. Missed a month or two, but I'm back to lurking. Well, welcome. Happy to have you. We could do Tyranitar. That'd be fun. Let's see how this goes. Lots of birds. Pichu, it is your moment. Yeah, it's pretty much all birds all the time, huh?
We bring you this battle live from the Gym Leader Castle. Will the challenger be able to overcome the waiting trainers and conquer the castle?
There's a Pichu. Get some thunder out there. Little tiny thing.
Here it comes. Thunder. Whoop. That missed.
Oh dear.
There's the
Well, let's not miss this time, little fellow.
They go into battle pose. Wow! Bullseye!
There you go. That's much better.
Itself with a paralysis cure berry. What'll it do? Ah, that didn't do much.
Unfazed.
They're both hanging tough.
I don't remember the accuracy on headbutt, but hopefully it's 100%.
Ah, headbutt!
Good enough.
It's a hit! Oh, it collapsed! The next Pokemon needs to be prepared. Oh, it's Tutu! It's a fierce battle.
Headbutt is 100. Oh, good. Thunder is 70. That explains the miss. Well, give it a try anyway, Pichu. I remember this gym leader tower thing was my first instance of pure gamer rage. Steel Gym got me beat time after time, and I couldn't figure out how to beat it.
The white-hot battle continues.
I feel like live commentary like this could be good for gym battles in the main series. That could be pretty cool. I feel like they could.
That's it! Oh, knockout!
I feel like if they ever do go for having voice acting
Stopping this incredible Pokemon force.
kind of kind of across the board in the mainline Pokemon games, I imagine that's a thing that they would add in.
Heated action continues.
Either like an announcer or like hearing kind of banter with the gym leader, which might be even more fun, honestly. Get him, Pichu.
Oh, what's this? That has to hurt. The last Pokemon goes down. And
I like that little bird ball.
battle.
Pichu, you did it. Way to redeem yourself, Tiny Thunder Mouse. Good for Pichu. All right, Flaffy, you get a turn though. And yeah, okay.
The first gym leader is Faulkner, the flying type Pokemon user from Violet Gym. What strategy will the challenger employ against him?
Thunder the bird. Thunder punch.
They go into battle pose. Here's the first move. Ah, that attack just bounced off. Accuracy is down.
No, but I need that accuracy.
A furious attack. A powerful blow. A hot battle is unfolding. What now? It appears to be impervious to damage. The target stats must be in tatters.
Don't miss.
There! Thunder
Yay!
Bullseye! Yes, it's going down. What Pokemon will appear next? Oh, it's Noctowl. They're both hanging tough.
Now this really, like,
Combatants face each other.
the amount of personality on each of these Pokemon,
What's next?
like some turn out stronger than others, but
The
they
Stat
do each
Changer
feel
continues.
different and unique and have kind of unique energy to them. And
There it goes. Oh,
that is something that
The white hot battle
modern 3D
continues.
Pokemon has been missing a lot of the time. Like, I think they're getting better at this. I think with Gen 8 and 9, with a lot of the new Pokemon they've been adding, especially with like starters,
That's it.
this has been getting a lot better. But especially early, like Gen 6, 7, stuff like that, a lot of the Pokemon just have a very,
That missed too.
they're like less motion on them, much less distinct motion. There's this very samey level of low energy, which is just much less like visually interesting. And that I can understand if it was just sort of like a scope thing, like
It's a hit.
a scope thing with like this a staggering number of animations that needed to get made, and doing this more distinct kind of motion on everything is more time consuming than just some kind of like keep alive motion on a pose, for sure. And then that's from there just kind of like the
Have been chosen. Oh, it's Pichu.
like that's just the library that then had to kind of like keep on working with for a while, and so like it'll kind of be taking a while before they phase out a lot of those older animations for kind of better ones over time.
What now? Uh-oh, was that Pokemon the wrong choice? Oh, it's infected. There's the attack. Whoops, that missed.
Did upgrading from handheld to a full-on console help in what they could do? Like maybe, like it is possible. Like I don't have a like window behind the scenes into like their development process or just what like technical limitations they'd have been running into on handheld versus on Switch. I'm more guessing that with the move to home console,
It collapsed.
the need for increase in visual fidelity and like fidelity like kind of
Come on.
required a push like for improvement. It could also just be like an initiative that they were wanting to start making the push for, and that like they're with newer Pokemon that come out, they need new animations anyway, and they are taking the opportunity to give slightly kind of like do better work and better stuff on those newer Pokemon and the new animations that they need. And over time, as they keep on adding new things and adding new features, like they'll slowly update that older roster as they go.
What's the matter, trainer?
Let's see. Tyranitar, I hope you are equipped for this. I don't really know if you are, but I hope so.
Oh, it's Tyranitar. It's down to the last Pokemon now. A hot battle is unfolding.
Do a mud slap. For old time's sake.
What'll it do? It withstood that easily. The stat changer succeeded.
Two can play this game.
What's next? That caused no
Oh.
damage at all.
I stand corrected.
Combatant is showing signs
This is a game for one.
of speed yet. How's that? Ah! That attack just bounced off. The target stat must be in pattern.
Oh, mud slap doesn't work on flying types. Oh, yeah, you know, that makes sense.
Little damage. The heated action continues.
Making a new Pokemon Stadium like they made a new Pokemon Snap would probably help with the progress on new animations for the Pokemon.
There's the attack.
That's interesting, actually.
The impervious
That's an interesting thought.
The target is weakened
Because, like, I
further.
think you're right. Like, they're very smart about
A light hit.
using assets in multiple places where they can.
They're both hanging tough.
That if they did, like, make another Pokemon Stadium type game, they would almost certainly try to take advantage of what animations were developed for that in the mainline series where they could. I wonder if there's... Now that mainline Pokemon battles are in 3D, I wonder if they see there being much of a market for a Pokemon Stadium type game anymore. Like, is there a market for it now?
Pattern.
Like, now that mainline Pokemon games
What's next?
look a lot closer to this?
Connected. next.
I wonder.
It's a fierce battle.
Like, there'd be people who'd be for it, absolutely. I wonder if it would be as big, like, I wonder how big of a
Attack just bounced
niche
off.
that would end up being.
The target is weakened further.
It's kind of hard to imagine them doing it. There's less,
What now?
kind of the whole appeal of
Again.
Stadium, at least,
Sparks are flying from both commanders.
is just like, hey, would you like to do Pokemon battles, but on your home console and all in 3D and everything? And you can do that in the mainline games now. Coliseum and like Gale of Darkness at least have like a campaign and stuff, so like that's kind of got its own
The target
appeal added in.
pattern.
So maybe there's something there, but it's kind of harder to imagine them doing that now, rather than just like I feel like I'd be more likely to see them do some other kind of Pokemon spin-off like the
The command
Legend,
remains.
like the Legend spin-off type thing.
Whoa, it flew
More of a
off.
proper Pokemon game, but like experimenting with format and mechanics and stuff.
Dude, oh my.
Seems like the audience for that would be larger too.
The white hot battle continues.
Let's try Sandstorm, sure.
What's next? Whoops, that missed. Sandstorm has started glowing. The sandstorm rips and tears. The heated action continues.
Mini games though, Pokemon Mario Party. Honestly, they should just make a Pokemon Party. That'd probably be adorable.
Oh, it flew high again. The move didn't quite work. It's going. Sandstorm hurts. And this hit finally puts
Seems like
it
that could be
down.
really cute.
Just one Pokemon remains. Oh, it's Delibird. This is the last Pokemon.
That's a pretty cute.
They're both hanging tough.
I'ma bite it.
Combatants face each other. There it goes. Hit. That was good. Whoa, that was close.
Hum.
How's that?
Nope.
that didn't stay. The sandstorm rips and tears. There's a big HP difference between the two combatants.
I'm a little concerned for our Tyranitar.
Mud Slap. Yes, it's a hit. The last Pokemon goes down. And there goes the battle.
You hadn't thought about it, but you're sure narrowing the focus down from a whole Pokemon journey to simply the battles probably really opened it up for animation polish on the attacks. Yeah, absolutely. Like the fact that it is also just, it is a different studio making the game, right? Like this isn't like Nintendo making this in some like nebulous collaboration with HAL and Creatures, like is definitely like it's not resources being taken from the mainline development over at a Game Freak working on their own things. But yeah, the fact that it is just battles only and not the rest of a full Pokemon game, especially now that a Pokemon game, like there's a lot of animation work for a Pokemon game that is the outside of battle. Honestly, probably at this point, well, it's hard to say. We'll have to try to like kind of guess a little better at that as we get to the 3D game, modern games. But increasingly, it feels like a lot of the animation content, like asset count wise, for a modern Pokemon game is the stuff that happens outside of battles. There's a lot. So like making a Pokemon game that is just the battle stuff only definitely will let you put more of that animation budget toward the battle animation count as opposed to needing to spread it out elsewhere. Let's look at some minigames before moving on to our next thing. Play a minigame. One player quiz. Quiz for all. Let's try a minigame. If Diglett keeps moving when the control stick is untouched, press these buttons. Okay. What? Oh, okay, now we're choosing R. I see. Any faves? People who've actually played this? Yeah, the animation for each of these that's just popping up is pretty great. Whee! For its frolic. A fine choice. Press the control pad to move in the grass, release it to move back to the center, press A button to shoot the ball forward, get the most points to win. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Whoa. It's chaotic. Yeah. Yay, I got a point. More points. Ooh, I want that one. Give. Nah. Ha! No. Yes. No. Ha! No. No! All right, well, it's still... Oh, I just lost barely to yellow. That's very cute, though. Cute little game. Let's see, what else? Yeah, even just the animations on this screen are very charming. Good little place to see personality. Oh, is Academy a thing to do? I assume that was just sort of a tutorial, but yeah, I'm down for looking at the Academy as well. The Pichu game. Oh, you're right. We should do that. Cute. When an electrode pops out, press and hold the control pad in the same direction. If the lamp is blue, repeatedly tap the A button. If the lamp's green, repeatedly tap the B button. First to fully charge wins. Okay. 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 Press in the general direction of the thing. Okay. Spam buttons while also holding directions. Haha! That was very close. Cute, though. Let's see. Let's look at Delibird's delivery. Fill the sack with up to 5 gifts using the control stick and carry it to the top. Highest score wins. Earn extra points for picking up the same items in a row. Okay. Oh, those aren't gifts. Lots of Game Boys. So many Game Boys. Right. Gotta deliver them. Oh no, my gifts. I see. Quickly. Whew. Okay. We're on the board. Eh. Go. And the piano. Let's go. Move. I think we're losing this one. Oh, no. Never mind. We got high value items. I'm hearing some fans of the Eevee game as well. That Eevee model is not working out quite as well. 3D Eevee has come a long way. When iPalm opens the lid, dash to the fruit with the A button, press the B button to fake a dash. The race is run 5 times. Huh. Okay. Haha. Fake a dash. Yeah. Fake. Fake. Ah. That's a pineco. It's not food at all. Stock children cheer sound effect number 6. Very much. Yeah. Ooh, a tie. Let's do one more game. All right, let's see about the Gutsy Golbat. Tap the A button repeatedly to go up. Use the control stick to move from side to side. The one with the most hearts wins. Your hearts will scatter if you hit a Magnemite or get hit hard by an opponent. Okay. Oh, it's Flappy Bird before Flappy Bird. No, my hearts. Hey. Now. Mine. Ah, no. This one's quite hard and chaotic. Ah, my hearts. Those are mine. Yeah, I'm getting obliterated in this one. Now. Yeah, that one's chaos. Stay far to the back, steal people's hearts. That makes some sense as a strategy. All right. I feel like I'm good on Stadium 2. I feel like I got the general idea. No, wait, the Academy. That's right. We're gonna look at the Academy real fast. Let's see. Classroom or library? There's a lecture, a test.
Pay attention, people.
Okay, yeah, not much for animation here. Other than the horsey in the little tube. Cancelled quiz, not much there. Okay, let's try the library, though. Ghost types. Check moves. Interesting. Can't like preview them or anything, but you can sort of like see the list. It's kind of neat. Yeah. That's quite cute having like a little in-game miniature wiki and even like a full-on chart. That's cool. All right. I feel like that's enough for Stadium though. Let's see. I'm going to switch over to BRB real fast because I need to get the Wii sort of like set up here for playing a GameCube game because we got a GameCube game next. Which will it be? I'll sit tight. This will take me a couple minutes, but I'll get it switched over. Here, I'll run an ad real fast while I'm doing the handoff. Be right back in a second.